All right, good morning, folks. It is 7:15 on day 137. That is August 17th. Just getting ready to walk out of the hotel room. Thought I'd just give you the quick tour first. So, bathroom. Pretty compact little bathroom here. Just a stand-up shower. That's fine. Works very well. Super clean. And then the bed, pretty small TV, pretty small microwave, pretty small fridge, but I don't need a big one of any of those, so that's fine. And then it's a corner room too, so that's kind of cool. I was able to open up both these windows and get some fresh air. I think the restaurant just opened up about 15 minutes ago or so, so I'm gonna turn off all these lights, pack up my bag. Well, my bag's already packed up, but pick up my bag and hike down there, see if I can't get some breakfast, and then I hitch back to the trail. I'll check in. All right, good morning again, folks. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, and I've just made it back to Rogers Pass. I was off hitching in front of the gas station there for not very long at all, honestly. I think I started hitching at 8:25 or so, and had my thumb out. There weren't that many cars coming by, but sure enough, one car passed, and then flipped around and came back. A lovely couple from North Carolina who also own a house out here in Lincoln. I guess the man and his father built a home there in the 90s, and now he and his wife, who are the two whom I met, come out for 3 months every year, and it was a good 3 months to be in Montana, that's for sure. Yeah, but they dropped me off just a little bit further down the trail. I mean, only by like 2,000 feet or something probably, but y'all gotta know I want a continuous footpath, so I went ahead and dropped my pack up there, and now look at this silliness. I just walked down to where 700 and I hitched off the highway a couple days ago, and now I'm walking back up to meet back up with my pack and continue the trail. Anyways, Lincoln was a really good stop. Not a whole ton in the town, and definitely a lot of town folks. Like, everyone knew each other, and knew each other's families and kids, and knew just everything about each other. So no one was like, everyone was gracious and kind and friendly and stuff like that. But yeah, just a lot of super familiar folks, and probably 3 or 4 restaurants that all pretty much serve the same food. It was burgers and like chicken tenders sort of thing. But I'll tell you, man, that Lambert's or whatever it was, that place I got breakfast this morning. I got breakfast there yesterday too. They got a killer breakfast, man. Buttermilk pancakes and like, ooh, so good, so good. Really good breakfast. Definitely would recommend that joint for breakfast. But again, the main reason I stopped in Lincoln was just to rest, And so the hotel was comfortable yesterday, and I had a good just sort of like lay in bed and poke through all the YouTube stuff and get all that sort of thing going and cranking and all this and that. But yeah, kind of the big news, well, I suppose not super big news, but kind of big news was that I actually kind of like sat down and finally wrapped my head around what I have left on the trail, and frankly, it's just not that much. I mean, at this point, it's fewer than 300 miles, maybe 3, maybe 4 towns. But yeah, just not really that far at all, which is, again, always kind of bittersweet, I mean, I love being out here, but gosh, it's gonna be great to like see my wife and hang out and see friends and family back home and pet my dog and all that sort of thing, and like actually have a toilet and a shower whenever I want one, and food, and ooh, I'm looking forward to it. But at the same time, I love being out here and hiking. So yeah, I'm excited about these next few days, these final couple weeks. We're gonna be getting into some really cool stuff. So I think Scapegoat Wilderness, I'll likely cross into Scapegoat Wilderness boundary tomorrow, likely not today. We'll kind of see how we go. And then from Scapegoat, Bob, Glacier, done. That's basically the itinerary. So anyways, I'll wait until I get back up to my pack just to give you guys the temperature, let you know what we're talking about, and then we'll go ahead and get hiking. Looks like my first water source is going to be in 6 miles or so. So I slammed a Gatorade at the gas station. Definitely had some coffee and OJ and water with breakfast. And now I'm just packing out 2 liters. Excuse me, to get me to that 6 mile point. Oh my goodness, excuse me. And then I'll load up some more water there. Camel up, drink some water. My thermometer was in the sun, so yeah, it says 79.2. I don't think it's quite that warm, but here we are, Rogers Pass. I'm gonna pick up my pack, get hiking, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, it is 5 past 10 and 65.4 degrees. Just made it to that yurt. Just wanted to go ahead and give a quick little tour. I haven't been in myself just yet. Looks like it's probably about 25 feet or so across. What's that, the radius, I think? Oh no. It's not bad. For a quick tour, that's a big water jug, feels pretty much empty. A couple bare necessities here. Oh man, it looks like a solar shower in here. This would be the bathroom, I take it. And probably some kind of composting toilet. I'm gonna go ahead and not inspect that too closely. Not a bad spot. Not a bad spot at all. A couple of cots, a desk. And then up this ladder looks like some miscellaneous storage, and certainly a space that would work for sleeping more folks if that's what it had to do. But yeah, not a bad little yurt. I'm sure 700 and the boys are probably quite comfortable in here. Honestly, looks really nice. Oh, and there's a little donation bag, so that's kind of cool. I'm not staying. I'm not gonna donate. I'm sorry. But yeah, pretty cool little yurt. That's really awesome that they leave it unlocked. I wish I knew more about the genesis and ownership of this yurt, but there it is, as it were. I don't need to stop, so I'm just gonna keep on moving. This is over at, I think it's called Cadotte Pass. I think it's like C-A-D-O-T-T-E. I'm not really sure how to say that. Cadotte, I guess. Cadotte Pass here, and I'm gonna keep going up mountains, and I'll check in with you guys later. Good afternoon, or maybe evening, folks. It is 5:38 and 68.2 degrees. I just finished a pretty late lunch, dinner, or whatever you want to call it. Over here just below, we have no vantage on it right now, but just below Caribou Peak, just about 19 miles, almost exactly 19 miles into the day. Yeah, man, today has been like spectacular. Really spectacular. I'm really hoping some of these shots came out, because the views and the ridges and the mountains, I mean, it's been a cool day, a really cool day. And I've just been enjoying the heck out of it. And to be honest, this jump, I didn't really get into the details of this jump, I don't think, but I'm going from Lincoln to Augusta. Well, there's no natural hitch point for Augusta. There's a spur trail that'll bring you down to a place called Benchmark Ranch. And the deal is, you can take that spur trail down to Benchmark Ranch and then try and hitch from there. Or there's a guy called Frank, I guess, who's kind of like legendary, get people from Benchmark to Augusta guy. So that's kind of the plan there. But this whole jump basically then from Lincoln to Benchmark is like 57 miles or something like that, so pretty slow pitch. And kind of my thought with today was like, whatever. I mean, I started honestly decently early, I feel like, for a town day, for a town wake up and town breakfast and everything. And I think I was like hiking by 9:30 for sure, which is pretty good. But honestly, it's been such spectacular views, and with the distance being what it is, I'm like, I mean, I can do 20 today, 30 tomorrow, and have like 7 or 9 miles or whatever it is. And that's, you know, all pretty manageable, I think. That taken with the knowledge as well that today is certainly far and away the biggest elevation shift day. I will have climbed about 7,000 feet by the time I hang it up for the day, and come down, I don't know what, 4,000 or something like that, cumulative over the course of the day. So that's not a super flat day for sure, but it's been worth it like crazy so far. Final thing I'll say about today so far is I didn't realize, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm actually already in the Scapegoat Wilderness, which is pretty cool. I kind of wish there was one of those cool little wilderness designation signs. I didn't see one if there was one. But that's pretty neat. So now this is kind of like the last section before the Bob Marshall Wilderness, which will be coming up next. But let me not get ahead of myself. I mean, Scapegoat is pretty, as I've seen already today, pretty darn epic in its own right as well. So I'm pretty excited about it. And honestly, whatever I said, it's 9:40 or something like that. 5:40 or something like that. Probably won't go a whole ton longer today. I mean, there's supposed to be water again in about 4.5 miles. I think that's a worthwhile target. And then maybe right around there or very shortly thereafter, probably think about calling it a day, but there is definitely more climbing in my very near immediate future. So I just wanted to check in. That's how the day's going so far. I have seen a fair amount of bear scat out here. Pretty fresh. So, you know, is what it is. And kind of just mind my P's and Q's. It's yet another reason why I'm stopping and cooking dinner quite far away from camp, which has kind of been the move the whole hike, but in preparation for these sorts of sections where you really don't want to be cooking at camp or eating at camp or anything like that. I would say producing smells at camp, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. You know what? I'm not going to get into it. Never mind. I'm going to get back to hiking, and I will check in with you guys at camp pretty shortly. 38, 69.8 degrees. And I just had a quick view I wanted to dedicate. So this is gonna go to Thomas, Kimberly, my father, and Rodney, who is the man behind the stick pick. He's actually sending me a replacement to replace the one that just broke earlier today when I sent him an email. Yeah, so not a traditional donation from Rodney, but you know, I feel like it deserves a shout out nonetheless. So Rodney, my dad, Kimberly, and Thomas, thank you guys all so much. It was a pretty spectacular view looking down off of the Continental Divide to the east, and you can just kind of see the sun picking up all of the contours, textures, and articulations of the mountains. Really kind of, any of this sort of light is always kind of like my favorite time of day, whenever you can really kind of pick up some of this definition in the mountains. I'm gonna come right up here to this peak, give you one more sweeping shot, and then keep on working on getting myself to camp. Let's pop right up. Thank you guys so much, Kimberly, Thomas, Dad, and Rodney, of course. Let's take one more look and then we'll get to camp. Look at this, man. Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for the donations. I'm gonna go ahead and scamper into camp, see how quick I can get in here. Probably another hour. I'll be a little after 7, but that's just fine, man. It's been a beautiful day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, good evening, folks. It is 7:53 in the evening, 66.4 degrees, and I have made it to home for the night. So I'm just returning. I guess technically I'm southbound on the Continental Divide Trail at this exact moment. I am returning to my tent after pitching up my food and digging a hole, getting all that stuff squared away for tomorrow morning. Tent's already pitched up, man. So I didn't wind up making it all the way to that water, not for any particularly grand reason aside from that if you kind of like look around, so there's a big hill right here behind me, there's a big hill right here behind me, and then there's a big hill sort of over there. That's my professional analysis. There's this sort of like clearing down here between all these hills, and it's one of the few relatively flat spots that I've seen in a while. And frankly, even to review it on the topographic maps, it doesn't really look like there's terrific flat lands over by the water source, which is now, I mean, less than a mile, maybe 3/4 or a half mile or something ahead of me, well, northbound. So, you know, I mean, it's been decently windy all day, not like crazy or anything. Honestly, it's been really, really pleasant, but there has been a wind, and it's been a decent wind, not crazy, not going to blow you over or anything, but definitely a decent little wind. And between the lack of super abundant flat topographic options ahead and the fact that I know it's been a windy day and my perhaps naive or misguided belief that these hills may help protect me from some wind overnight, well, there you have it. There's my tent. I pitched up in this sort of like long grass and brush. Not really necessarily my super favorite sort of situation for how to pitch up in this grassy business, but you know, I mean, it's fine. It should be fine. And what's more is that while there are plenty of dead trees around, there are none within like immediate falling threat range, so that's good. Anyways, yeah, man, today super cool day. I can't in good conscience say it was one of my favorite days because I've just had so many amazing days, but definitely some of these views today, it's starting to feel like Montana, like big mountains all around. I mean, I say big mountains. I guess Colorado had a lot of way bigger mountains, but it feels like Montana now. and I think and expect that it's gonna continue feeling more and more like Montana until I finish. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, I saw no one on the trail today. There was one guy with 4 or 5 horses who I took to be some local type. I guess he was kind of cruising around, glassing deer, I guess. I don't really know. I don't know why. I don't think it's hunting season right now, but maybe he was just kind of like scoping where they're at. I don't really know. Friendly enough guy, I mean, and friendly horses. Got to pet some horses. That was cool. Yeah, aside from that, yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in and start processing video and all this malarkey, and thank you again to the 4 people who got a shout out a little earlier. Always appreciate donations and stuff. That's always really cool thing to get some service and turn on my phone and see that you guys are appreciating this. So I shouldn't put it that way, I mean, but you know what I mean. Anyways, thank you so much again. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Hope you had a good one.